Charismatic with an offset panic. Pop a pill, just a little Xanax. Drink some water and kill the static. Living in your attic, living like an addict. Say your country from my edict. You ain't interested in my prefix. Bury me with a suffix so I can suffocate with it. Split it, I break bread, I been dead. You can't kill me. I'm a zombie, parasite, crash site, alien, predator. I'm mad at her, she mad at me. Apparently, we gon' live happily ever after. Couldn't feed such a film. Smoke leaves, call it him. Brody with the limb.
So it's like, yeah, man, fuck my life. I hate my fucking life. My life sucks. You might be a teenager in school. You don't need school. You don't need school. You're a teenager in school, and you're getting bullied. No one's helping you with that. They're telling you to fight back or tell someone about it. Don't nobody really give a fuck. And you obviously try fighting back and you got your ass whooped. So it's like, you're going through depression. You're going through depression right now. You're going through teenage angst or depression. No, you're being forced to go somewhere where you're being abused. You're being you're being abused. You're being taken advantage of, for one. You're being forced to do something that you don't want to do. No one wants to go to school. No one is born into life saying, "Ooh, I want to go to school when I grow up." What? I come out at age couple of seconds and I want to go to school when I turn 4 or 5. No. And they make it seem like your parents can't teach you shit. My parents went to school. Both of my parents went to school. If they wanted to teach me anything, they could have. Or, for instance, with the society we live in, if I wanted to learn something, I could learn it for free. I could learn it at home. My mom homeschooled me and my cousins when we were younger. We were advanced individuals mentally. We did not need school. The only thing you will ever gain in school are friends, connections, and you pretty much start networking from the time you start kindergarten or preschool, whatever you start when you make friends. That is the only focal point of school. It makes you social. It makes you a little more adept in life. Sometimes it doesn't work and people become awkward, socially awkward. You could be that one person in school that don't know nobody, don't never talk to nobody, and ends up being that weirdo that everybody thinks is weird. But hey, that's me. But yeah, society comes in and it takes away happiness, takes away freedom. They make you think you're free, but you're not. And it's such a shame because a lot of people, some people actually realize this, and the first thing you think is, you know what? I just found out something important. I'm gonna share this information with the world. I feel so bad for those people because the number one rule when you find this information out is don't say shit. Why? Because you're so happy. You found out you're outside the matrix. You found out the information that no one else knows. So what you do? You go to the streets and start spouting out nonsense. The government is corrupt. They're killing us. They want us dead. And the media is in line with the government, of course. They always seem to know what's going on around the world whenever the government wants them to know something. So with the media, they're going to see you standing on that corner with a sign that you made out of cardboard and marker, because why not? And they're going to see you spouting your nonsense, and they're going to make you look like you're crazy. So anyone that walks by you are going to associate you with a crazy person, because you are doing exactly what the media tells people a crazy person would do. You're standing outside spouting nonsense about the government and conspiracies and whatnot. And at this point in time, there are some people who do that. Like they spout out nonsense and they build up that is it rhetoric? Nah, it ain't rhetoric. Rhetorical? Nah, it ain't rhetoric. But they build up that facade of not facade. They build up that identity. So when you actually have knowledge that you want to share with people, you're just another Joe standing on the street spouting nonsense. And that's why most people go to the internet to do it, but you can't do it there either because it's always someone on the internet doing it too. You got that one guy, aliens exist. They're probing your minds. The government knows they're hiding it from us. And then you're like, haha, this guy is weird. Then you get the person that's saying, hey, my black brothers and sisters, The government is not for us. Cops are killing us. Da 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 da. Then you got people like, yeah, fuck the police. And it's like, you're missing the message. You're not even listening to the man. He's not talking about fucking the police. And he's not talking about killing the white man. Because the enemy of that enemy is thy friend. The government, society, is the enemy to all. Because we don't have any freedom in society. Society is made to keep us in a perpetual control, so that we don't actually go out and do things all willy-nilly. Everything has to, people want power and control. Fuck money. I'm gonna tell you right now, fuck money. People don't want money. People want power and control. If I have $1 million, I'm a millionaire. I am richer than you. I don't want any more money, right? But that's not how it works. But still, I don't want any more money, right? What do I want? I want power. So what I'm going to do? I'm going to build a business. I'm going to create a business and make other people work for me. And I'm going to be pretty much the one in power. So I'll pay them trickles of what I make. When I'm going to make more than the $1 million that I put into the business, they're going to make trickles of the money. Because with the way society works, if I was a millionaire and everybody that works for me became a millionaire, why would they want to work? Secondly, if I was a millionaire and everybody I worked with was a millionaire, or pretty much everybody in the fucking world was a millionaire, inflation, not the world, everybody in the United States was a millionaire, inflation would kick in. This is where, everyone has the same amount of currency, so there is no worth in the currency. In this type of hierarchy, there has to be a bottom and a top. That's why there is a 1% of people who are just like stupid dumb rich, and then there's a good majority of people who are somewhat wealthy, somewhat making it. Then it's like all of us from what they say, middle class. Oh shit, I just spit, my bad. Middle class. From middle class on down, we are not surviving. We are not surviving. Anybody that's broke and anybody that's in middle class can tell you the same goddamn thing. We are not surviving. We're broke. The cost of living keeps going up, and people I love people who they want, higher wages, right? You want higher minimum wages, right? When a minimum of anything is increased, everything else increased. So just say at a minimum I work out once a day. So once a day, I work out once a day, I get results. If at a minimum I work out twice a day, I get higher results. But what happens when I get higher results and I work out twice a day? I double my fatigue. So if you increase something in order to, benefit from it, you increase how much you don't benefit from it, which is fucked up. So when you increase wages, you increase the cost of everything, which is kind of sad, because the way they set this up, we're born to fail. We're born to fail the way they set this up, and it's brilliant, because it's at the point where you can't really stop it. You can't go against society. You can't go against any of it. It's been so well constructed that if you by yourself try to go up against it, you die. And even if you get a group of people to go up against it, y'all die. You can get half of the United States. You can get half of the United States on your side to change the society, overthrow the government. You're gonna die. All of you are gonna die. They have a military backing them. Even if the military coup, there's still going to be some loyal, brain-dead idiots that's going to fight for them, and we're not going to win. It would take the entire United States, actually the entire world, because the entire world runs by this perpetual societal conditioning. They just have different ways of going about it, but I'm going to stick to the United States. So it's weird, because people look at me weirdly, because I'm acting different. I'm different because this information has changed. I'm not the naive individual who thinks all I have to do is go to school, get a good job, and I'll be happy and my family will be good. No, I don't think that way anymore, because that's so trivial. That's a conditioning that they put into your mind, because they tell you that if you do those things, for instance, if I go to school, chances are I'm going to get a good career, I'm going to have a good paying job, and I'm going to be successful in life. Wrong. If I go to school, I'm going to be in debt. Then once I get into debt, they tell me that whatever I'm going to school for, if it's if it's good and beneficial, which is not, I'm going to be able to pay off my debts and live a happy life. No. That's not how that works. It doesn't matter what you make from that career. If you're in debt after school, and you're not a person who got a full rag scholarship, or you're not a person that got any scholarships whatsoever, you're going to be in debt, because you have to take out loans. Grants don't cover everything. Financial aid doesn't help you if your family makes too much, or sometimes you just don't qualify for the shit. So they tell you that you go to school, you get this job, your life is going to be great. No. So let's say you get the full rag, you go to school, you get the job of your dreams, right? Credit, taxes, and just anything that could possibly happen. Natural disasters. Let's not forget about what happened when Katrina hit. Everybody was fucked up. The government couldn't really exactly assess the situation and help everybody in a timely manner, so most people pretty much ended up in depressing situations. Somewhat had to be relocated and really had to leave their homes or leave the things and possessions behind. So, yeah. So even if you happen to do things the way they want you to do them, and you do things according to the way they want you to do them, chances are you're not gonna always have the best. Like those people you see who are living luxurious lives with the most fanciest car, like a BMW, or Mercedes or a Range Rover. You see people with 2 of those, big ass house and everything. They did a lot. You might see people in their late 40s, unless millennials. They say us lucky millennials. Fuck that. You might see people in their late 40s and whatnot. They finally made it. They achieved what they wanted. They married, 2 or 3 kids, a big ass house. Both the mother and father are working. The kids are in a private school. Probably have an animal of some sort. They go on frequent family vacations. The kids are in academics and doing after school programs, and just the highlight of of society. And it's like they promote that shit. So when you look at those impoverished, low income individuals, they're like, you know what? I need to get my kids doing what those kids do. My kids need to be in after school programs. They need to be in higher education. I need to be harder on my kids about learning. But you do that, and you end up pushing your kids away. I'm going to tell you why. Most kids in impoverished situations, they're fun-loving, they're free. And, the messed up part is they don't have that familial connection. Yeah, you see your parents every goddamn day because you live with them. But they don't have that familial connection. And that's part of the plan too. The conditioning works on all levels, and they have a plan for everything. So when you have a situation such as that, where you the mother working, single mother, let's break this down. Single mother, multiple children, maybe 2 or 3, single mother, they go to school, pretty much they take care of each other. The mother and prepares the oldest to take care of the youngest, and that tier of guidance goes down in line. So you're not really kids. They grow up becoming responsible at a young age, and that's a lot to put on the mind. You end up having children who, you might see an older sibling and then the 2 younger siblings. The second oldest becomes the next line, because once the oldest goes off to college, they assume that role, never really enjoying their childhood, because in that trifecta, they have to watch out for each other. There's all types of dangers out here. And so, it goes from a certain age where it's like playful, ha fun, to you have to be the responsible person. You have to make sure your siblings get to school. You have to make sure your siblings do their homework, wash up, eat. You pretty much have to take on the role of being a parent as an older sibling. The parent depending on the situation. The parent is stressed out, overworked, tired, frustrated sometimes, not happy with their lives. This is what I'm talking about, the conditioning, the situation. They always want better for their children. So they end up being brainwashed by their own ideals. You get brainwashed by your own ideals when you put in a state of disarray. And the sad part is, no matter how strong your feelings are towards, finding that goal, you're putting yourself in a state of disarray. You becoming violent, unstable emotionally. Men disappear. Women, they get abusive to the children. You end up, being detached from yourself, and you walk around as just this husk of a working individual body, no essence, no soul, no spirit. And some people end up being brainwashed into finding solace in religion, cults. I'm sorry, I must have got those two. Misunderstood. They're pretty much the same goddamn thing, depending on which religion you're talking about. But religion, cult, you get sucked into social media. You get sucked into reality TV, television in general. You get sucked into that bullshit. You get sucked into gossip, drama. You find your way, and before you know it, you're an individual of like just toxicity, and you're no good to nobody, not even your own family. So this perpetual emotion that they cause and everything, it's just perpetual sadness, perpetual corruption. It's dark, And the sad thing is, this is society. This isn't life. Life is beautiful. I mean, you've seen things like, animals just being born, babies just being born. You see natural, beautiful beaches and skylines and just lush jungles. That's life. Then you look over at society, you see smog, pollution, you see rundown buildings, you see people getting killed in the streets by, the people who are, supposed to serve and protect, or protect and serve, whichever that is. They serve their master and protect their master, but not us. In general, you see the corruption, the corruption, because power makes anybody mad, crazy. You don't ever want money. People who always say they want money, once you get money, you see it. Like, when you get money, you transition from, like when they say weed is a gateway drug. You see, you do weed, but when the high not strong enough, you move on to cocaine. When you get money, when you get to enough money, you move on to power, because you get fixated. And you finally understand, but you can't bring everybody with you. Like, people get mad at Oprah, and people get mad at pretty much any black individual that has a lot of money. People get mad at them when they don't help the community. Well, there's like probably 3 or 4 reasons why. The community is toxic. The black community is destroyed beyond belief. And hey, my hand making the window look better. The black community is destroyed beyond belief, because we're the most brainwashed collective group of individuals there is. Came straight out of slavery, got freed. We're not even free. I'm not gonna touch on that right now. Got freed, and then we came into nothing. They promised us land and 40 acres and a mule. 48 acres and a mule, whatever. They promised us land and an animal. We didn't get that. The Native Americans just barely got land, and they the ones that had the whole entire continent. Depending on what you want, I don't know. They had tribes everywhere. I don't understand or know too much about that. I'm not gonna speak on it too much, but you know, we don't got nothing, and we're constantly being told to go back to Africa. They probably would love us in Africa, but you tell me to go back to Africa, and I'm gonna look at you like you're stupid, because I was born here. Even my ancestors that were brought, history is so weird. Even my ancestors that were said to be brought here, they're dead. They're dead. I'm mixed with almost anything that has touched this continent. I'm mixed with every and anything that's touched this continent. All the pioneers, travelers, conquerors, killers, murderers, rapists. I'm mixed with all of them, just like you and everyone else that's mixed with anybody that's from this continent. And this is our home now. Unfortunately, there are people who are already here, and that goes for people, any natives that were in Canada, Alaska, any natives that were in Mexico, South America, and any natives that were pretty much here. They have a right to be here. This is land that's a part of the land that they've called home, and this is their birth land. They have a right to be here. So when people say go back home, go back to where you came from, it almost seems ignorant because it is ignorant because you can't tell someone that they don't belong somewhere that they've always been their entire life. It's like if I wanted to walk from, I'm not gonna give it a exact location. If I want to walk from 31st Beach to 63rd Beach, and I got to 63rd Beach, and someone told me to go back to 31st Beach, I would look at them foolishly because I'm from Chicago. I can go to any beach I want to. So if I'm coming from Mexico to the United States or America, this continent, and someone tells me to go back to where I came from, I'm gonna look at them stupid because my family travels to and from this land all the time. We come here when the seasons change. So why are you telling me to go back to where I came from? You go back to where you came from. I mean, it's foolishness. But this video is dragging on, becoming too long. But yeah, this was just an introduction into what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to have to break down this video and put it into segments. But this is Keith Young. You know how I be. I don't know what to call this. What's a good name for something like this? Aspect of reality. I'm gonna call it aspect of reality. All right. Thanks for watching. Tune in for next more.